Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Bristol in both the Xfinity and the Cup Series. In Xfinity we actually had an IndyCar driver, the Indy 500 champion of the season, Simon Pagenaud, taking his shot at a NASCAR oval. I had this suggestion a while back and I decided to bring it in before we get to the playoffs, obviously, as we're going to have a full-time quote-unquote driver for the playoffs. But we had Pagenaud in the car for Bristol. You see, he ran into trouble early as he had actually gotten the pole in this race, but certainly not making any friends on this opening lap of Bristol, and he would fade down to about 4th or so, battling now for 5th with Daniel Hemrick as he came to about the midway point of this race, as he would drift down to that 5th position for a brief moment of time. But as he came towards the final lap of this race, Simon Pagenaud, he would get back up to P4, battling behind, I believe that might be Ryan Preece there in the 18 as he went down into turn 3, sending it up the inside as he tries to take 3rd away, coming to the line, but it's not going to be enough as Simon Pagenaud comes through to get P4 in his first race in NASCAR. So really a good effort, especially on an oval for Simon Pagenaud. So certainly nothing to be disappointed about here now as we close in on the playoffs in both Xfinity and in the Cup Series. So it's getting down to crunch time now. We have just, I believe, 3 races left in the regular season on the Cup Series side. So we got 3 more chances to get as many playoff points as possible here. And Bristol's usually a good track. We run really good in the first 2 stages, and usually we throw it away in the 3rd and final stage pretty much every time at this race. Now as we come through turn 3 and turn 4 on our qualifying lap, it was going to be a decent one. As we come out of turn 4, we're going to qualify on the pole with a 16.9 flat. So a great qualifying effort for us here in Bristol. So hopefully we can stay in this position and come home tonight with the victory in Bristol.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series returns to the last great Coliseum for the running of the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. One of the most popular events on the NASCAR schedule, this half-mile concrete oval is famous for its bone-rattling hits and heart-stopping finishes. To put it mildly, this race is special, and there's simply nothing quite like Bristol Motor Speedway under the lights. Only 3 races left before the playoffs start. Who will come out on top tonight? Well, it's time to find out on PRN.
Alright, we're ready to go green here in Bristol from the pole position with Kevin Harvick on the front row alongside me. Ross Chastain isn't nearly as fast as expected. They've been fighting their car all weekend. That's our only note coming into this race as we get ready to go green. Like I said, Harvick beside me still looking for his first win on the season as we're ready to go green in Bristol's green flag waves, and we are underway. We are looking for our first ever Bristol win. We have led many laps. We've led well over 100 laps at this racetrack in our career mode, and we have never come away with the victory. I think we probably maybe have led laps every time we've come here in the Cup Series, but we usually throw it away in the 3rd and final stage. Is just how it seems to go for me at this racetrack. Now as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4 on this opening lap. So we open up just a little bit of gap to Harvick now as we head down towards turn 3, as Kyle Busch is going to look to his inside as we come through the center of the corner. So Kyle Busch immediately trying to get through to take the 2nd position there as we cross the line. As we came to lap 3, still leading as Kyle Busch had cleared Kevin Harvick now for that 3rd position, or 2nd position, sorry. As we come through out of turn 2, Kyle Busch would try to close that gap on me, but we would have the speed to pull away early on here in this first stage as we come through to the midway point of this first stage, closing in on the back of Haley Deegan as Kyle Larson had moved up into the 2nd position. So Larson having a great run right now here in Bristol as we come out of turn 2 on the back bumper of Haley Deegan as we go down into turns 3 now. We are going to be able to clear her to put her lap down, and also look to the inside of Ryan Truex, and we're going to be able to put him a lap down as we head down into turns 1. So a great start here for us in Bristol, and we will just continue to set a decent pace as Larson would actually close in just a little bit on me. As you see, I'd actually gotten damage from hitting the wall here with the right side as we were approaching the final lap now of this first stage, closing in on the back of Joey Gase, who sits P27. So we've lapped all the way up to P27 now as we come through out of turn 4. The white flag in the stage 1 is out as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2, clearing Joey Gase as we come out of turn 2. Larson lurking behind, but he's not close enough as we come down the back straightaway down into turn 3 for the final time here in this first stage. We're going to come out of turn 4 to win stage number 1 here in Bristol. So we've won a lot of stages at this racetrack, so it wasn't really necessarily surprising, and hopefully we can just close out the rest of this race for the first time now, as there you see your finishing order in the first stage, as we would not have to come to pit road, so obviously we would stay out and get ready to go green here in the second stage. So hopefully we can have a really good stage 2 run here as Larson starts on the outside front row with myself as the green flag is out. And we are once again underway, as you see behind me, Logano and Suarez on that second row. Daniel Suarez having a great run. He's in a must-win situation, though, if he wants to make it into the playoffs. Now as we come down the back straightaway, and obviously a new winner right now would make the playoff grid even crazier, because Joey Logano is the last guy in on points because he doesn't have a win. So that would put him out, and then Kevin Harvick would be the last guy in, even though he's only he's second in points, but he could be on the verge of being eliminated if things don't go right for him when it comes into getting new winners. Now as Joey Logano, you see behind us, makes a move to take that second position away from Kyle Larson as we come through across the line as we head down into turns 1 with 26 to go in the second stage. At this point, obviously 26 laps at Bristol, not a long time at all, and as we would come through now to lap 16 of 28 in the stage, closing in on the back of Ross Chastain, getting ready to lap some cars here as we came down towards turn 3. So certainly setting a really good pace here in this second stage, just like we did in stage 1. And behind, I saw Kyle Busch. He was starting to close in on myself as he had moved back up into that second position, and he also had Martin Truex Jr. following him as he saw Kyle past Kyle Larson there in the process. And as we came through now to lap 23, looking to the inside of Daniel Hemrick as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, lapping up to 33rd now as we come out to turn 4, crossing the line in command. But Kyle Busch and Truex are coming pretty quickly towards my back bumper as we seem to struggle against lap traffic much more than the cars behind us are right now as we head down into turn 3, closing in now on the back of Michael McDowell as we come through to lap Brendan Gaughan, the number 62 cars who would cross the line there just 4 laps ago here in this second stage at this point now as we come out of turn 2. And as we head down towards turn 3, just approaching 3 laps to go in the second stage as we send it up the inside of McDowell, trying to put him a lap down. Now as we come out of turn 4, we run out of room and make contact with McDowell. And down the track we go down into turns 1. Kyle Busch now is all over my back bumpers. He's going to be able to look on my inside as we come out of turn 2, as we have just possibly given up the stage 2 victory due to an incident there with McDowell as we send it up the inside of Busch again, trying to hold on to the lead as we go wide and hit the wall again, as Truex is going to come through with 2 to go to take over the lead, as I've completely blown this stage win as I just struggled so hard there to get past Michael McDowell, as in reality I guess it was my fault. I drove up into the side of him. I was hoping he was going to maybe back out of it, but unfortunately that was my fault and I just got into him now as we come through to take the white flag in the second stage. We have completely blown the stage victory as we send it up the inside of McDowell once again, as my right front tire was pretty destroyed at this point, so it was certainly causing some of this issue with the car being so hard to turn as we kind of run McDowell up towards the wall there as we come through to get P2 in the stage, as Truex would come through to steal the victory from us. And we would have to come to pit road at the end of this second stage for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. As you see, Chris Buescher actually got the last position there for a stage point, so great result for him. But we would drop 13 positions due to the pit strategy here, so certainly going to make an interesting stage 3 as the green flag is out and we are underway. We beat both Truex and Kyle Busch off of pit road there as we come down towards turns 1. 61 laps remain in this race, so not a whole lot of time, as certainly that sounds like a lot, but at Bristol it's a very short period of time now as we head down into turn 3, clearing Truex there as he's going to fight back though on my outside now as we come out of turn 4, having to give him the space as we cross the line heading down towards turns 1. I believe Daniel Suarez currently in command here in Bristol now as he's leading over his Stewart-Haas Racing teammate of Eric Almirola. Certainly we're going to probably need a caution because it's going to take us a while to get through all this traffic here. We know we're faster than the majority of the cars in front of us, but it's going to take us a bit still to get through, and we're probably going to need a caution to put us back in it towards the end of this race now as we come down the back straightaway heading down towards turn 3. And by the time we came through on lap 69, now passing Bowman and Byron, moving ourselves up towards the top 10 as Bowman holds that last spot in the top 10. He was obviously booted out of the playoffs a couple episodes ago due to Jamie McMurray winning, changing everything, but we would get up to P10 and continue working our way forward as we had passed Daniel Suarez and a few other drivers, now passing Clint Boyer to move myself up towards a top 5 position as we came through, hitting 48 laps ago, going down in turns 1 and turns 2 side by side with Boyer just about making contact there as we come out of turn 2. Kevin Harvick lurking behind as we head down into turn 3. Going to send it in pretty deep just to make sure we clear the 14 of Boyer and we make it happen and move up to P5 at this point. And we would also move up to P3 as Kevin Harvick continued to follow me as we hit 32 to go at this point. Certainly running out of time. I saw right away that we don't have the fastest car on the track right now, and it was going to be a pretty tough task to try and run down the leaders and win this race. As we came to lap 96, 30 to go, we would end up getting a caution here with 30 to go. So this would set up for a fairly late race restart. We would not come to pit road as no one else obviously pitting, so we don't want to completely give it up now as we have a chance maybe if we have the speed to possibly pull off a victory here in Bristol for the first time in our career as the green flag is back out. Just over 25 laps remain, 27 to be exact, as we head down into turns 1 side by side with the number 4 of Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon. He's in a must-win situation to make the playoffs. He runs second right now as we have to give Harvick the room there out of turn 2, sending it up his inside into turn 3. Going to try and race Austin Dillon as clean as possible simply because he's in a must-win situation. We don't want to mess him over as he has a chance right now to lock himself into the playoffs if he can run down Aric Almirola and pass him for the victory now as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway though, side by side with the 3 of Austin Dillon. We have trouble up ahead though as the car, whoever brought out the caution, was blowing up and they decided to stay out, and that would hold up all of these cars as me and Almirola, we would run up on this group of cars really quickly. And now as we come out of turn 2, you can see it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. who was blowing up, and we would quickly just go to the inside of these cars and pass them all with no problem, as it was actually just a breeze just flying through this little group of cars. So we would get past them without any issues, but Aric Almirola, he would get through this group much faster than I did, and he would put a good gap between himself and I. Now as we came to laps 116, 10 to go, you see a clear track between myself and Almirola, but he was several seconds ahead at this point as we come through to hit 9 to go. So I knew right here that it's pretty much a done game. We're not going to be able to run down Almirola to get our first Bristol win. It's the same story every time. We do so good in stage 1 and 2, and we give it away in this third and final stage. And as we come out of turn 4 in that second position, there's trouble behind. And it's the 11, our teammate of Denny Hamlin, who gets crashed into the wall, collecting our teammate of Kyle Busch in the process now, as the caution would fly here late in Bristol, setting up for a late race dash. Almirola first, myself second, Suarez third, and Johnson fourth. Suarez in a must-win situation as he has a chance to do so here in Bristol as the green flag waves again, and we are on the way for potentially the final time with 4 laps to go as we head down into turns 1 side by side with the 10 of Almirola, but he has more speed as we come out of turn 2 now as he is already getting away from me. As we head down into turn 3 though, we're going to send it up the inside, but you see just how sideways I got right there now as we get sideways again coming out of turn 4, and that would really hurt my momentum as we went down into turns 1. All of a sudden the car is just slipping and sliding around on me, and that would allow Daniel Suarez to look to my inside there as he would get past me. And as we came towards now a lap and a half to go, still behind these 2 drivers as we went down into turn 3, approaching the final lap of this race here in Bristol. Suarez in a must-win situation. He is just a few car lengths behind Almirola as we head down into turns 1 for the final time here in Bristol. Larson looking to my inside as I just cannot race this car at this point, to the point where it's going to be a very fast one as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Kurt Busch looking to my inside. Almirola wins Bristol, and we come through to get P4 as I just had no speed at the end. Like I said, I just could not race the car like I needed to be fast, and unfortunately we come up just short of a win. And unfortunately as well, as I forgot to record the finishing order and the little tweets the driver give us, but you saw Aric Almirola won, Daniel Suarez second, we got 4th, but there you see the playoff grid after Bristol. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be incredibly appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and other videos. As you see, the playoff grid going into Darlington, 2 races remain in the regular season. Who's going to be in the playoffs? We're going to get ready to find out, but hopefully we can rebound in Darlington. Obviously, we had a great race, just I really want to get a win at this track, but the same thing happens every time, unfortunately. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.